Good morning, everybody. This is a real pleasure for me to take part in this Urbacto conference, even if I need to use digital technologies because it is totally impossible for me to be in the physical presence today with you. However, I want to share with you my vision, my practices, our experiences on this concept, the 15-minute city. We needed to understand that this concept is today very popular around the world because we propose a new path. We propose a new journey for transforming radically our urban lifestyles and our territorial lifestyles. In fact, we have been developing two twin concepts. The first one, the 15-minute city for the compact zone, and the 30-minute territory for middle and low density zone. But the vision is the same vision, the methodology, the same methodology, and we have been different implementations for managing the question of different densities. But with this concept, the global concept is the shorter distances in cities or in territories with different names, nicknames around the world. In fact, we no longer have a choice today. In face with climate change, in face with climate emergency, this is the reality today. After living 2 years under this global pressure of COVID-19 pandemic crisis, we needed to change radically our lifestyle. We need to reduce our CO2 emissions. We need to develop more social interactions. The IPCC, Working Group 3, in its latest report on April 4th, Adaptation and Mitigation, said we need to develop another lifestyles if we want to reach the carbon neutrality at the horizon 2050. And this report suggested that one of the key for developing this concrete transformation, in fact, is proximity. This report suggests as well that the 15-minute city concept, the 20-minute city concept, this concept of happy proximities is a very strategic way, not only for reducing our energy consumptions, but essentially in reason of the cascading effect. And this is very, very relevant. The 50-minute city concept, the 30-minute territory, is a holistic way, it's a systemic way for developing and convergence implementations between, on the one hand, this constraint for having a sustainable consumptions, and on the other hand, to continue to increase the urban and territorial quality of life. Sustainable consumptions and a better urban and territorial life are two sensible directions. And with our concept of happy proximities, we have this capability for developing a new collective trajectory for transforming our lifestyle. The 50-minute city in the 30-minute territory is a way for developing a polycentric city, a polycentric territory, a multi-center city, a multi-center territory, for developing more and more services in all city, in all territory, for developing local jobs, local commerce, local activities, for developing social interactions, for generating new business model, for generating more and more intersections. Our concept is based in these massive interactions, mixity, social interactions, to propose to break with our reality for more than 6 decades. We have accepted the unacceptable, to live in unsustainable cities, to live in unsustainable territories. Centralized, specialized, fragmented, segmented, even segregated. We want to propose with this polycentricity the access everywhere, every time, to 6 essential urban and territorial functions. To live in the correct conditions, the organic density, very different of promiscuity. The second, to reduce our daily long commute for developing more and more intermediate places for continuing to work. This is one of the lessons of the COVID-19, to reduce this daily long commute. The third one, to supply in proximities with the shorter circuits, to have more local activities, more local employment, for reducing our dependencies. And this is very important today in the context of the war, Russian war. The fourth point, health. We need to develop in the proximity medical services for our physical and mental health. This is essential today. And with the COVID-19, we could observe the strategic way for these medical health services in proximity. The fifth point, to access to education, to culture, to have a lot of cultural and educative activities in proximities, physical activities or digital activities. And the fifth point, of course, to enjoy, to access to public spaces, not for cars, but for humans, to use public spaces with vegetalizations for being resilient in face with climate change, with water, air, without pollution, for reconquer public spaces for children, for elderly people, for developing gender equity, for having public spaces safety for human. We need today to develop in access to the 6 essential functions on foot or by bike in proximity, 15 minutes in the compact zone, 30 minutes in territories, because the density is not the same. And in territories, we need, of course, to integrate other mobilities. For example, electrical vehicles, on-demand transport, and car and pool sharing. This concept, the cities and territories of the shorter distances, a 50-minute city, a 30-minute territory, is not a magic wand. This is, before all, a strong commitment of the local governance, stakeholders, private sector, citizens, academics, researchers, for proposing a new path, a new trajectory. I said that this is not a magic wand because we need to develop our best effort for being aware that we needed to transform, and this is possible in several places around the world, and we need your commitment for that. Thank you so much, and I hope in other moment to be physically. Thank you.